Mary had like 7 or 8 children when she left Nauvoo and came to winter quarters. Not only that, she had a large household of men and women who worked for her. So she had quite a large company to provide for, and she wanted to come west with the saints. Well, she knew 1846-47 that she didn't have enough supplies to make that trip. So she took her wagon and she went south down to St. Joe, Missouri to load up on supplies. They were making their way back. Now they're coming north up the Missouri River from St. Joe, Missouri on the south, back up to winter quarters or Florence on the Missouri River to the north. One night they made camp. And as they did so, the next morning they got up and the oxen to pull the wagon were gone. Now you have to understand the situation. The oxen are their only means of survival, of moving that wagon heavy laden with supplies. Their security, their salvation temporally was depending upon those oxen. No oxen, no wagon, no supplies. They're stuck. They're stranded. Well, Joseph F. Smith, who at that time, her son, is 9 years old, and her brother, Mary Fielding's brother, Joseph Fielding, tramped all through the countryside looking for those oxen. Right up until almost noon, they walked, they looked, they searched. And finally, Joseph Fielding walked into camp and said, well, that's it, Mary. The oxen are gone. They're nowhere to be found. And Joseph F., young Joseph F., 9 years old, walked in at the same time. And his mother said, rather cheerfully, you just stay here and I will go and search for the oxen. Now, there's an interesting part of that story. It was Joseph F. who walked into camp first. And as he did so, as he drew near to the camp, he saw Mary down on her knees and praying. Joseph F. says, I halted for a moment and then drew gently enough near to hear her pleading with the Lord not to suffer us to be left in this helpless condition, but to lead us to recover our lost oxen, that we might continue our travels in safety. Joseph heard what she said. And then he continues, he said, when she arose from her knees, I was standing nearby. The first expression I caught on her precious face was a lovely smile, which, discouraged as I was, gave me renewed hope and an assurance I had not felt before. He saw his mother on her knees. Then Joseph Fielding walks into camp, says the oxen are gone. Mary says, never mind, your breakfast has been waiting for hours, and now while you and Joseph are eating, I will just take a walk and see if I can find the cattle. Joseph Fielding kind of like, did you not hear what I just said? The cattle are gone. We can't find them. Both Joseph Fielding and Joseph F. watched Mary. She walked out of the camp and started beelining right down towards the river. Now nearby was a large herd of cattle with some drovers. One of the drovers came over and headed Mary off and said, Madam, if you're looking for your oxen, I saw them in the other direction. Mary didn't even bat an eye. She just kept walking. She walked down towards the river, and right near the river, there was a deep ravine that drained into the river. She went over to the ravine, dropped down in, and there found her oxen tied up in the willows. Clearly and obviously, the drovers had intended to steal her oxen. Before Mary could even get her oxen up out of the ravine, the drovers had set the whips to their cattle and were moving straight away. Joseph F. would record this. We were soon on our way rejoicing. He would remember with reverence and respect that experience for the rest of his life, as will your loved ones, your children, your grandchildren, when they see you praying and when they hear you pray with real intent.